All right, welcome everybody. My name is Steve Keller, and I'm your host for this evening for our testimonial call for the iTeraCare frequency device here. And my friend Ricky told me about this simple device a couple weeks ago, and I started sharing it. And I'm a sucker for cool devices and helping people, and this is doing both of those. So we're going to share some stories tonight. A couple things. One, keep it short. However short you think, keep it shorter than that. We don't need to or want to hear long medical histories, what medications you've been on, all the conditions you've been. What we really want to know is how life was before this, how you're feeling, what you're going through. We don't need no medical conditions. Who told you about it? How long you used it? What benefits you've seen and how you feel about it now. Okay, just very simple. And this is not just a benefit so people can find out what it's doing for people. This should also serve as a bit of a training for you. Like if you've gotten good results, cool, and you want to share with other people, skill number one, learn how to do your testimonial so you don't use a fire hose on people, just simple, compelling with not too much information on it, right? So we've got Frank who's going to share his story here. Frank, are you able to turn your camera on?
No, not at the present moment.
Okay, no worries. So, right. Frank, where do you live?
I live in southwestern Wisconsin.
Southwestern Wisconsin, awesome. I spent all my summers in northern Wisconsin. So,
oh, nice.
Frank, tell us a bit about what was going on with you before someone shared this with you. And who was it and how long did you use it and what results have you seen?
Well, just to bring you up to speed in the present, before I get into that, I was just going to say in the present, from starting in mid-December till now, overall, if I was any better, I'd be 2 people. So that's what the device has done for me so far.
Awesome.
The person that shared it with me was the president and the vice president of the company over in Malaysia. Awesome. And I've never seen a web page. I didn't know anything about terahertz energy or anything like that. And they asked me if I had any major health problems, and I said no. The only thing I'd had was, it was major, but it was a kidney stone that was too big to come out of my kidney. Ooh. And Dr. Jimmy Chong said, just charge up the water, drink it, and then put it on your kidney for 6 minutes. And he said it'll be gone. And he said it'll be no big deal. Well, so now,
let me pause you right there. So you're drinking. I almost thought you're like pouring the water on your kidneys, but you're drinking it and then aiming the device at your kidneys. Is that what I'm
correct?
Okay.
Correct. Charging the water with the device.
For how long are you charging the water?
Well, with an 8-ounce glass, I only do it for 30 to 45 seconds. A lot of people say a minute, but I know 30 seconds is more than enough if you're just doing one 8-ounce glass.
Perfect.
But anyways, he told me to do the water before and after, and then put it on my kidney for about 6 minutes. And the first night I did it, he said, and boom, it'll be gone. Well, the first night I did
just aiming it at your kidneys. Like, are you holding it from the back or someone doing that for you?
Just like you're doing it. Yep. Just like you're doing
like that. There. Okay, cool. Yeah.
And so anyways, I did it for like 4 minutes because I was just kind of impatient. And I thought, well, I'll do it, 6 minutes tomorrow night. So then I drank the water. And the first time that I went to the bathroom, I looked like there was like little ashes in the toilet stool. Well, after checking into it further, there were pieces of a kidney stone. They look like little flakes of like you see in an ashtray, just little flakes of ashes.
Oh wow.
And anyways, I never felt, here's the key to the whole thing. I never felt 1 ounce of pain. I mean, and if anybody's ever had a kidney stone, they'll know what kind of pain it is. Okay, well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, multiple times.
Okay. Oh, you need to do this big time. And the water is very, very important. And they'll prevent
I'm doing both that right now. Yeah, awesome.
And so, and then for 8 to 9 days, I did the kidney, and I can't remember if it was the 8th or 9th day. And the kidney was the stones quit coming out, and I haven't had them since. So awesome. I mean, that's. Yeah, and also just on a quick note, I've worked with a lot of people with this, And there's just a multitude of things that's just overwhelming. You got like trigger finger, drop foot, floaters in the eye, and all the joint pain. So it's just unbelievable. And I think that's something that people should know. It's everything that there possibly is, as far as I can see. So
yeah, I mean, kidney stones. I remember I had kidney stones once. I'm walking into the, like, I have very, very high pain tolerance, and I'm walking into like the ER, and the nurse looked at me walking by. She goes, "Oh, you don't look good at all." Like, it's just like this ashen face of pain. Like, give me some drugs right now. But yeah, I wish I'd had this a few years ago, but glad I do now. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Frank. I really appreciate it. And that's an awesome story for people. All right, we're here with Mr. Daryl Thomas Sr. Where are you from, Daryl?
I'm from Talladega, Alabama.
Talladega, Alabama. I think I've driven
Make
through
sure
that.
you say Dega instead of Dega or Dega.
Oh, all right. That's probably important. Talladega, Alabama.
That's correct.
All right, love it. So tell us a bit about kind of what was going on with you before you were introduced this, and what results have you had?
But my wife and I, we are master herbalists, and we've been on a mission since '89, helping people stay well. And we've dealt with frequencies, we've dealt with, the zero energy ones and everything.
Yeah.
But one of my friends, Barbara Turner out of Maryland, Daryl, you've got to see this. And so
sounds like my friend Ricky. He's like, Steve.
Yeah. Well, when I saw it, I said, Barbara, I got to do it. No matter how we do it, I got to get in. I've got to do it. So in the meantime, I have pretty good health, except for I was having lower back pain from an accident back at Fort Camp Shelby, Mississippi years ago, and a left knee pain from Fort Knox, Kentucky from 1976.
What are you, jumping out of planes, or what are you doing?
Nah, man, I was on an obstacle course and dodging snakes and fell off a log.
There you go. Sounds super fun there.
Yeah, but anyway, when I got it, of course, I followed the instructions. I'm very instructional. And the third day, this is what I noticed. My lower back pain was gone.
Nice.
Gone. And on top of that, I noticed that I had a little bit more flexibility in my knee. I'm still working with that. But I noticed also I had a slight tingling in my feet as far as nerves. My feet are normal. Come on now.
Yeah.
And then
so were your feet bothering you before, and then
they had
I missed that part.
A little tingling in them, not much, just a little tingling.
So before they were tingling. You're like, something's up with my feet.
Yeah.
And then you start using it on the bottom of your feet, and then it was like,
man, it's not there. Okay.
Nice.
But the beautiful thing now, the man circulation part. Yeah. Okay.
There we go. That's a good thing there.
The other thing was, it was years before I've been treating myself for years.
Yeah.
And so I finally went to a doctor last year, and they were surprised. You say all your stuff is perfect, and the only thing, your blood pressure is a little high. But when I went to get my eye exam, they said you're forming a slight cataract.
Yeah.
Well, I got news for you. I just really was freaked out because I got in the car, put my glasses on. I said, something's not right. I said, why are my glasses not working? And so I took them off, and I was saying, well, I'm looking right now at the family rules across the room in my family room, and I could see it. Well, before it was blurred. Yeah. So my eyesight is getting better and better and better. So I'm just going to keep using the one every day. And the water is awesome. And of course, y'all know, hey, I'm very demonstrative. So let me show you something real quick.
Yeah, show me.
This is my mister.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's not coming on. I guess I need to charge it. But I miss my face every day. And it's so soft. I miss my beard. I miss my hair. And everything is so soft. And so I'm just thankful. And I'm going to be sharing this with everybody because it's not about the money. Money follows goodness.
Yeah.
So if you
You're right
help
on
people
that.
get well and help people stay well, you'll be rewarded.
That's right.
So
You're
come
about to
on,
you're
y'all.
about to
Let's get
preach
it
about
right.
that, huh?
That's
Like,
right.
love
Okay.
it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. You know, I recently I was lifting, doing some squats, and the next day I'm like, what I do to my back? I'm like, no, I go to the chiropractor maybe. And I'm like, wait a second. So I just sat on a bench and leaned over and I said to my wife, just wand me, all right, about 10 minutes. And later I'm like, oh, I just saved myself $40 going to the chiropractor. There we go.
Yeah.
So, love it.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for sharing.
You're
Daryl.
welcome. You're
Really
welcome.
appreciate it.
All right.
All right. We have with us Lania. Where are you from, Lania?
Hendersonville, North Carolina.
Oh, nice. I just moved from South Carolina, but man, there's some gorgeous areas in North Carolina. What was going on with you before someone told you about this, and what results have you seen?
Well, about a year and a half ago, I had what I thought was going to be a very simple procedure. And at the same time, they to give me a shot of B12. And when they gave me the shot of B12, they hit my sciatic nerve.
Ooh.
Yeah, not fun at all. And so I woke up the next day and I was in excruciating pain, and it was going across my back, down my legs, into my feet, my toes, everything, both legs. They told me to, when I called back to the doctor, they said, oh, do some Tylenol and Advil and all, you'll be fine. Well, I wasn't fine. And I did every single thing I could think of to do for as long as I could do it, possibly. I did natural remedies. I went to the chiropractor. I did massage therapy. I did healing work. I did absolutely everything. And then it started radiating up into my shoulders and up to my neck and down my arms and into my hands. So now I can't even drive the car. I can't garden. I can't do much of anything.
How long did this all go on, Lania?
Year and a half.
Year and a half. Okay. Yeah.
A year and a half. I couldn't even, I was so debilitated, I couldn't even think. It was all I could do just to get up and not want to go back into bed.
Yeah, yeah.
And so finally, I just really put out a very strong call for help.
Yeah, yeah. I get it.
At about 4:00 in the morning, Craig Clavoon decided to send me the animated video. I watched it, and I waited till a decent time, and I called him. I said, Craig, whatever that thing is, you just get it. Just get it for me.
So you had just kind of a intuition that it was like ding, 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 ding.
No, it talked about everything I was dealing with.
Yeah, so you knew this was the thing, huh?
I just said, get it, because I was desperate, and I'd already ordered other machines that were so complicated, and I couldn't think. I couldn't tell you my own name. I was so debilitated. So when I got it, I thought, well, let's cross our fingers. And I did the protocol. I had looked it up and everything, and saw what I was supposed to do. So I drank the water, and I was.
So even though you were kind of having brain fog, you still could use it. It wasn't too complicated.
No, and that was the real part. I mean,
yeah, that's beautiful.
I had to have something that was so easy that, it's. And that was what that was. And so I drank the water, and I could only really do about 2 minutes on each hand and 2 minutes on the bottom of my feet. And that was about it.
Yeah.
And then I went to bed that night, not really expecting anything.
Yeah.
And when I woke up the next morning, my hands didn't hurt.
Oh,
now,
wow.
That was amazing. So I'm about 85% good now. I've had the wand now for about 3 weeks.
Love it. So your new best friend, huh?
My absolute new best friend. Yes.
Yes.
So I'm back up.
Well, you got your smile back too. Look at you. You're like, yes.
It was an absolute yes. I mean, after a year and a half, that was just quite amazing to me. And so now I can't shut up about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, nor should you shut up about it, right?
No, I'm telling everybody. And it's funny because I've never really done anything with network marketing. I mean, I've been a product user, but this is different. So
Love it, love it, love
I'm
it.
really happy with it. So
Awesome. Well, excellent job. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it.
thank you.
All right, we have Angie, and Angie's calling in from her car. Angie, where are you calling in from at the moment?
I am calling in from Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. We had a whole bunch of people the other day calling from the snowstorms. They're driving around in Chicago in snowstorms. So you're calling from
Yes.
Atlanta, Georgia. Awesome. What was going on with you before you were introduced to this, and what experiences have you had?
Well, I tell you what, I had some really nasty, ugly looking veins on my hands.
Yeah.
And thinking I'm going to have to go to the vein clinic just to get these veins gone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let me try it on my hands. And I won my hand for like 2 days. And when I took
For how long at a time?
for about 10 minutes.
Right. So like 5 minutes, 10 minutes on the back of your hands, each hand,
Yes.
or 5 and
Yes.
5, or?
No, about 10 minutes on each hand.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, within 2 days, the veins were almost gone. They were almost not noticeable at all. I was like,
So you did it one time, 10 minutes each hand, and a couple days later, you're like, wow.
I did it about twice, 2 or 3 times each day.
Okay.
And when I tell you, they were gone. I've been telling this story. I took pictures before.
Yeah.
And I took the after pictures.
Love it.
And I am amazed, and so are those that I've shared it with. And it is definitely my story. Everybody needs to get their own story of what this one can do and will do for them. Because it works, and I'm excited. I'm happy to be a part of it. I definitely thank Franco out of Dallas, Texas, for sharing this information with me. And I'm going to duplicate what he did with me, and that's to share it with others who need it as well.
I'm curious. I don't know anything about vein clinics. How much did that save you?
Oh, probably about $3,200.
There you go. So a tenth the price.
And
you can use it on a bunch of other stuff too.
Sure. Yes, definitely.
Wow.
So I have some crevices, a little like a line around my my mouth. And I tell you what, I've already started wanting that, and I can definitely tell a difference. So I have some before pictures of that. And I think probably within the next day or so, that's going to be down to almost nothing as well. So
love it. Love it. Love it.
We're on our way.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Great job.
Thank you, dear.
Awesome, Franco. Everyone's in their car today. Franco, where are you calling in from?
Calling in from Dallas.
From Dallas, Texas. Well, you spent a lot of time in your car in Dallas, Texas. I know that.
Well, no doubt, no doubt.
What was going on with you? What was going on with you before someone told you about this, and what's been your experience?
A whole bunch, and since the whole team is here, I thought I'd chime in.
Yeah.
I'm the Franco who Angie was just referring to, and Daryl Thomas is the person who called me, and not only that, as a dear friend does, he facilitated my way to actually come on board financially. So I'm very grateful to him for doing that. So like him, I have, and by the way, Angie, I received that picture of your hand that you sent me. And since I didn't see the before, I didn't really know what I was looking at other than a really cute hand. So
yeah. Angie, if you're in our testimonial group, Angie, please share the before and after pictures in the testimonial group. And if you have a hard time doing a before and after, send it to me and I will put them in one picture. That makes sense.
So. Will, thank you so much.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Go ahead, Franco.
All right, cool. So Stephen, with me, I don't really have any pressing medical issues or concerns like Daryl. I've enjoyed pretty much good health most of my life. However, about maybe 5 years ago, I did have some lower back pain. Left work, went to the emergency room, sent me out for an MRI, and the diagnosis is spinal stenosis. Now, this condition, as I've been told from the medical professionals, will have to be corrected sometime between now and my intended 120 years on this earth. So, you know,
Yeah.
no biggie. So it
I
never
like the
gives
way you're
me
thinking
any
about that,
pain.
by the way.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I don't even think about it. It's not limiting. It doesn't. There are no flare-ups. There's nothing like that. Hold on, I gotta unblock somebody here. So. And so as I got the wand and began doing the full body treatments, of course, I focused on that area. And I recall doing it, and within 24 to maybe 36 hours, I've got this severe discomfort in that area.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow. I mean, it literally changed everything. I could barely roll over in bed. It changed my walk. Just walking through the house, I literally felt like I needed a brace. So I'm like, okay, well, something is going on here. I've never experienced that before.
Yeah.
So I continued the treatments. Treatment 2, which would have been maybe 24 hours after the discomfort started. The discomfort was maybe at a 12, and it went from like a 12 to an 8. Then day 3, continued treatment, and I actually increased the length of time per treatment. So say now I'm at
So let me ask you
35.
this. How
ahead.
are you doing it exactly? Or were you someone helping you with this?
No, I
Did-
did it. I'm just reaching behind.
Okay, so
And
you're just
I'm
standing there and
walking.
kind of grabbing the front and going like that. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And I would shift it to the left hand, and of course trying to keep, to the best of my ability, the counterclockwise motion.
Yeah.
And so day 3, it just kind of started subsiding. And then all of a sudden, a couple of days went by, and I realized that I wasn't even thinking about it anymore because it just wasn't there. And so now I'm actually back to what would have been the norm for me, not thinking
Yeah.
about it. So, but I'm continuing to wand that area. So obviously, very, very excited about, what's happening with the device and the technology and the science. So who knows, in a year, 2 years, when I go in for another MRI in reference to that area, who knows what the results may be.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Stephen.
Go for
Yeah.
it. Go for it. What else?
One more thing on the water.
Yeah.
Okay, so I occasionally will donate plasma, and the length of time that you're actually connected to the machine is purely based on hydration.
Oh,
and
interesting.
the secondary concern, or maybe equally as important, is diet. In fact, one time one of the techs told me, all right, Mr. O'Neill, stop eating fatty foods before you come and donate. I'm like, how do you know what I ate? He's looking at the machine. He said, it's right here, buddy. So something occurred. I went in my normal time to actually be connected to the machine from start to finish, from the time they put the needle in me until I'm actually finished, wrapped, ready to go, is about an hour and 15 minutes. Okay. I came on Tuesday and I was finished in like 45 minutes.
Wow.
And the technician said to me, she says, wow, you're pretty well hydrated. Okay. Well, something else very weird happened that had never happened before. They wrap your, the area where they do the, where they connect you. And so I went to the men's room and I felt something wet on my side. I'm like, well, I couldn't be, urinating on myself up there. I'm at the urinal.
Yeah.
And I was bleeding. And so I go back into to the tech area, and they rushed over to me. They're like, wow, what's going on here? So they rewrapped it, and the technician came back over, and she says, you are really well hydrated. That had never occurred before.
Wow.
Okay.
Awesome.
So one final thing. Now I've got a situation where I've got blood on a really nice sportswear shirt.
Yeah.
That bled into my undergarment, my t-shirt. So I go home, and normally I would spray hydrogen peroxide on a blood stain. Okay.
Yeah.
And so the hydrogen peroxide container is now empty, but guess what's in it? My
Ooh.
charged water, because that's what I used to spray my face. So I said, okay, hey, what the heck? So I sprayed the blood on the garment, and the blood just started pouring out of the shirt, and it just pretty much went away before I even put it in the washing machine. So
That
the
is
water
so fascinating.
actually now gets stains out. Yeah.
That is super cool.
I mean, there's not a trace of blood on a white t-shirt that I sprayed with the charged water. So there you go.
Interesting. That is
Very
super
much
cool.
so.
I love
Very
all those
much so.
stories.
Yes,
So
indeed.
awesome.
All
Thank
right,
you so
Steven,
much
that's it
for
me.
sharing. I
No,
really
thank you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you
Great
very
job.
much. I appreciate it.
Awesome. We're back with Mr. Daryl Thomas Sr. again, who says he has 50 stories. So I'm eager to hear what's the
You
next
see
one.
you saw how us sales professionals do. We start at 5, and next thing you know, it's 100.
Yeah. Kind of slowly sneak up on you. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, but listen. This was one of the team over in Atlanta. Some of the members of the house came in with COVID. Okay, they were positive, and the next day she said she woke up coughing, throat raw, nose running, chest hurting. She got the one. She won her ears. She wanted her nose. She won her throat. She won her chest.
Yeah.
She said after 30 minutes of wanding, she felt like new money. Do you hear
Awesome.
me? Do you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I'm through now. I get passionate about this, y'all. All right.
I love it. That's huge because not only this devices impact a lot of aspects of what we've been going through in the last couple of years, both if people are in the middle of dealing with it, but the impact of getting a jab too. There's some serious issues going on with that that will probably take years for us to really see the impact of that. And we've got a great tool for that. So awesome. I appreciate you sharing. Thank you so much. All right, we have Emily by voice only with us from Toronto, Canada. Hope you're surviving the winter up there. Emily, tell us a bit about what was going on with you before someone shared this with you, and what was your experience?
Okay, well, I didn't think I really needed it. I do believe in the devices because I have a unit here that I spent $7,000 and it does work, but
Yeah.
most people couldn't afford it. So I would be sharing it all the time and I missed it all the time. So I figured, there's nothing wrong with me, but I developed a trigger finger. I don't know if you know what that is, a trigger finger,
Yeah,
about 5,
so
6
it's like
months
you
ago.
can't, your finger doesn't straighten out. Like
Oh
that,
my
kind of.
God, yeah. And it just locks up, and some days it's like all day long. I couldn't even pick up a cup of coffee. And I thought, well, I'll try it on my finger and see what happens. So 10, 15, again, I drank water. Hydration, I think Franco said hydration is so important.
Yeah, it is.
So I drank a glass of the iTera water and 10, 15 minutes on my hand, and it seemed to loosen up a little. The second day I did the same thing, 10, 15 minutes only. And then the third day I thought, I can't believe this. I don't have a trigger finger. It's gone.
Wow. So 10, 15 minutes straight on both
Straight
sides?
on my hand, circular, yeah, counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise,
And
okay.
yeah, it absolutely worked. I was just amazed. My brother came up and I said, oh, Michael, you got to start using this. This is so amazing. I said, look at my hand. I can make coffee today.
Awesome,
And then
awesome.
about
Did
12
you
years
happen
ago, I
to
did.
did you happen to take a
Sorry.
before and after picture of that?
You know what? I should have. Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah.
think of it. It just happened so fast.
Yeah.
It just happened so
Just snuck
fast.
up on you.
I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh, this is, it's going to lock up again. And it never has since. But about 12
That's
years ago,
awesome.
I also tore retina in my left eye. And I had 2 laser surgeries. And from time to time, I'd feel the pressure and it just very, very uncomfortable, like very uncomfortable, where I'd have to put a tea bag on it, hot cloths and everything. Nothing worked. I swear, I drank some water and I thought, okay, I'm going to try it, just see if it works this time. And I drank a glass of water, the iTera water, just before, medium heat. I just circular motions, movements on my eye
Yeah.
with the low heat. And I couldn't, it was gone.
For
It was
how long did you do that for?
Oh, maybe 5, 10 minutes at the most.
Yeah, interesting.
That's it. 5, 10 minutes, it was gone.
So how did you know that tell me a bit about what exactly was going on? You said your tear in your retina?
Yeah, it was
And
actually
how would you know that can you see it, feel it? I mean, I'm not.
Oh, yeah. Well, what happened is I remember I was at my other house and I just happened to go outside. It was very sunny, and all of a sudden I felt like a bee had stung my eye, and I closed my eye. I just saw black blotches over my eye, and I thought, well, I better go to the hospital. And I said, oh, this is pretty serious. They sent me to a specialist, and he said, yeah, you've torn the retina on your eye. And they don't know why, because I didn't have high blood pressure.
Just randomly tore. That's
It
super
was just
weird.
tore. Yeah, it just tore. Yeah. So I had 2 laser surgeries, and you know, my one eye is a little bit smaller than the other, but at least I can see. But from time to time, I get that pressure, and now I just, you know, again, I've only had it one time, but it does work. And
So you knew it was better because the pressure was better, or what?
there's
told
no
you?
pain at all. There's no pressure at all.
Okay, got it. So you
There's
had a
no
little pressure,
pressure
a
at
little
all.
pain, and then it
It's an
shifted.
uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah. Interesting. Awesome.
Excruciating at times.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Love this story. And everyone, you know, one thing you see in comments, everyone's like, drink the water, drink the water, drink the water. You know, so many people are dehydrated, even if they're drinking a lot of water, because, you know, hydration isn't a matter of how much water you drink, but how much you actually absorb. And anything you can do to shift that is a big deal. And I know I have friends, lots of friends, $5,000 unit to get their water wetter, you know, so to speak. And so what an amazing deal with this device does that, and a whole bunch of other things. So super cool. All righty. Mr. Byron, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia. I went to high school near Philadelphia in Pottstown in the 80s.
Okay. Well, I guess my story is what was going on before. I went to Penn State, and I used to enjoy playing basketball, especially outdoors in the sun. And I used to enjoy, smoke a little marijuana, and, you know, laying in the sun with my friends and just soaking up the sunshine, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And so it goes on that there was this gym that I went to after I graduated, and I used to enjoy playing in the gym. You know, I'd be running up and down the court and sweating. The gym would smell like sweat, be sweating under the arms, sweating in the jock, sweating in the back, all over the place. And then they installed fluorescent lights in the gym. I stopped sweating.
Weird.
And my body felt like it was partitioned, you know? And so that was a long time ago. But I'm saying, since I've been dry. I mean, I have been dry, and I can hardly walk now. I mean, I struggle with doing every qigong and every type of therapy and modality, you know, just to maintain my balance and function.
So you were feeling like an athlete, and then something switched.
Oh yeah, something switched. Yeah, I became, like a digital being in a digital world.
Yeah.
And so what I noticed about this iTeraCare device, the blower device, was it helped my cells to communicate. I was sweating where I hadn't sweated before. Drinking the water, all right? I mean, instead of my nose running when I ate, I was getting perspiration in my forehead.
Yeah.
So my cells are communicating like I'm in a healthy environment. I mean, like right now, right now when I go out, I feel like I'm in a digital world. When they put the smart meter in the house, all right, that's when I had trouble, really started having trouble walking. And not just me, but people on the block. People on the block died of cancer. So, I mean, this device is helping my cells to communicate. It's helping me to perspire. All right. And it's things that were locked up It's freeing up my hip, which was been locked up since really 2014. Really a lot of hip pain and stiffness, and I've had the device for 2 weeks, and that is winding down.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Love it. One simple thing to think about is healthy cells communicating, create healthy tissue, create healthy organs, create healthy systems, and creates a beautifully functioning physical body. And so that's one reason why if you have one simple thing that impacts cellular health, you can impact very wide range of things. That's awesome story.
Well, like I saw in the cartoon, what the girl said was that many countries have, other countries have know about this terahertz, and those are frequencies that resonate with the human body. They are not developed. They don't want people to be healthy. They don't want people to have this.
It's not good for business.
Yeah. So this is a blessing from the Creator, and I'm very thankful.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Byron. I really appreciate it. Great job from Philadelphia. All righty, we have Daniel sharing with us. Where are you from at the moment, Daniel?
I'm calling in from the Washington State Cascades, in between Portland and Seattle.
Beautiful area up there. I'm kind of not too far from you in Redding, California, or close-ish, I suppose. So Daniel, tell us a bit about what was going on with you before someone told you about this, and how long it took. How are you feeling now?
Well, chronic right knee impairment, damaged in the Air Force in Germany in the 70s. And I've got a pretty good, healthy lifestyle. And recently, I had a friend show me the product at the first of the year. I was super busy on a project, and 3 weeks later, he persisted, and I came by his house, and he gave me a glass of water, and then he sent me home with a wand and said, "Try it out. Tell me what you think." And I ran it over my right knee where I have that knee damage, and I noticed that I was a little bit more.
How long did you do it for?
Yeah, about 5 minutes on that high heat setting. And then I started learning about it. And then I called him back the next day, and I said, I could tell the difference in the water right there. And I saw how impactful this can be, because every single day there's over 10,000. If you count in Canada, in North America, there's probably 12,000 of us hitting 65, right? So
yeah,
a lot of people with problems. So yeah. And then the other thing, I run it over my liver and my heart and my lungs. And I told my wife, I said,
how long?
Yeah, I do about 15 minutes after our shower in the evening, because I learned that you don't want to treat yourself if you're going to get in the shower, because you kind of lose whatever the terahertz frequency is doing. So what we've started doing is she'll run it 15 minutes, and then I'll go get my shower and run it 15 minutes. And then getting that morning session when you're getting up and you finish taking care of business that you attend to. And what I noticed is that over in my liver area.
What's your dream? And we support you.
Hold on a second here. All right. We muted Mr. USMA.
So that I noticed that those feel-good chemicals, the serotonin, endorphins and stuff, and I go hiking up a small little mountain here, and I don't get a lot of that knee pain when I'm going up. What I experience is when I'm coming down, because you're hitting that knee harder on the descent, and I'm just, the pain is going down. I'm getting that. I'm doing senior softball. I had shin splints because when you get that first few practices of the season, but we did start in January this year, and I do intensive Pilates on 3 days a week and do weight bearing exercises 3 days a week. And so I noticed those shin splints are even less painful. And I was able to climb up some steep stairs today, go for a long 2-mile hike with my wife. I'm so thankful for this product.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you invest heavily in your wellness, which if you're not, people are in big trouble if they don't, right? So this seems like a great tool in your toolbox for all sorts of stuff, huh?
Yes, I've got some people on my team that they are, when am I going to get my wand?
Oh yeah, people want it. They want it. I want it now. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Daniel, for sharing that. I really appreciate it. That great job. Awesome,
All
Steve.
right.
Where are you
Hey.
from, Steve?
Chicago. I'm by Chicago right now.
Yeah, weren't you in a snowstorm the first time I heard from you?
Yeah, it was crazy. Now it's nice. Just there's no snow on the ground at all now.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit about, what was going on with you before you heard about this and what your experience has been.
Wow. Before I heard about this, I mean, I used to work for Coca-Cola 14 years, and there was wear and tear on my body, and I had a lot of aches and pains in my back and my legs and my knees and feet and everything else. So my friend Rob McNulty said, "Hey man, you got to get one of these wands." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, just get one. Just trust me." So I ordered one, and I'm like, "What am I supposed to do with it? There's no instructions with it." So he's like, "Just blow it on your body 30 minutes, you know." So I blew it all over my body 30 minutes, and I felt like I got a brand new body. It just like my pain went away. My flexibility is
So just the
unbelievable.
first time you're like, do it for 30
Yeah.
minutes. You're like, what in the world just happened?
Yeah. Yeah. And I started telling everybody, people can't shut me up about it. And
Yeah.
I'm just excited. And sometimes I drive for Uber. I got 3 passengers that are like, they're texting me and they're like, "Hey, we're going to buy one," you know, cause I bring it with me and I show it to them and I'm like, "Hey, look." I'm like, what is that?" And then I've got their contact information and they're like, "Well, we're going to be getting one. We're excited." I gave one lady a treatment. She was blown away. So we exchanged information. I went to her house. I gave her a treatment and she's like fired up about it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, that's it's like just kind of surreal, you're like, what just happened to my physical body? It's like, bam, just kind
My
of got an
sleep is
overhaul.
amazing too, man. I sleep amazing. It's like, it's unbelievable, man. So I
So
love it.
do you use it right before bed? How do you use it right before bed? Do you drink the water a lot too? What are you doing there?
Yeah, I do treat the water and I drink I've changed it up. Sometimes I'll take it before bed and sometimes I'll take it up when I first get up in the morning. So I just trying at different times, but I sleep amazing and it's just awesome. And then I do drink a lot of water and the treated water. Mhm.
I find if I drink it before bed, the treated water before bed, I don't have to get up and urinate nearly as much as if I drink untreated water.
True. No,
It's like
you're
my
right
body
about
is
that.
absorbing it, which is a great indication. Awesome.
Mhm.
I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story this
Thanks,
evening.
man.
Thank you so
Yep.
much.
Take care. Yep. Thanks.
All right. And to close it out, I have my friend William here in Colorado. And I know you do Zoom almost every night sharing, but I've never heard your story. I'd love to hear what's gotten you so excited about this.
Well, when I first got it, actually, when I first looked at this, I didn't even watch the video, waited about 3 or 4 days, and I wish I hadn't have done that. But I finished watching the video, and there was something on there, that just really caught my attention. And before I even finished it, I called Adrian and said, "Hey, I need to get one of these." And so I'm so thankful that I did. When I first got the device, I wasn't expecting much. In fact, I was like, this is a hair dryer, right? I mean, it just didn't impress me.
Well, what's
So
your
I started,
background? What is your background? What do you do for a living? Have you?
for most of my life, I've done network marketing. I've been very successful. And, but, recently I've been looking for something. And so I just mostly focused on nutritional companies in the past. But so this was different, of course. And so I wasn't really expecting anything because my mind is going along with nutrition and not really as much frequencies, although my life, has been changed with frequencies in the past. So when I got this, I used it for the first time, okay? And for over 2 years, I haven't had any body odor, okay? Haven't used underarm deodorant, maybe one time in 2 years. And so all of a sudden I started blowing myself with this, and my wife was in the room and she says, all of a sudden she says, this is about after 15 minutes, she said, "You stink." And I was like, I go, you're right. Like, I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it. And since I've been using this, and I don't use it enough, okay, because I'm literally from morning until night, sometimes 12 o'clock at night, I'm just busy, okay? But I do drink the water all day long, and I still have the body odor. I'm still detoxing and cleaning out. But one thing significant for me, two things, I had this strange thing in my knee, okay? Just every once in a while, so I would just go walk up some stairs, and sometimes it would just have this sharpness in there, okay? And it would feel like I was going down, right? That kind of a quick little thing. And ever since
Like it
I've
was
been
about to
using
give
this,
out on you, kind of like a,
yep,
okay.
yeah, a
Yeah,
sharpness,
yeah.
and then just a quick, I never fell down, thankfully, but that has been completely gone. Haven't had that happen one time in almost 2 months since I've been using this. The next thing, of course, the first thing I noticed the very first night was the body odor, but then the sleep. My sleep has been, when I go to sleep, all of a sudden, I'm awake in the morning, right? Solid sleep, no disturbances. And this one, I haven't even told anybody about this, but my hands at night would fall asleep, both of them, all right? And just completely like numb, and it would wake me up at night sometimes, right? That's how bad it was. That's completely gone, okay? But the one thing that has really blown me away, and I have had for over 3 years these little sores on my scalp, and they would scab up, they would swell up sometimes and hurt, and I had no idea what they were, what was causing it. And I tried everything, right? So the scabs would come off. I think, okay, I'll put some stuff on it right now, and let's hope that this time it heals. Well, no, okay? And they were just annoying. And then right before, about 2 weeks before I got this, I had another one pop up on my scalp. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Well, long story short, I've got about one left that just has a little bit of rough skin on it, and the rest are completely gone. And when I noticed that they were gone, I told my wife, I said, hey, look at my scalp. What's going on? She's like, they're gone. And that is just completely shocked me. Okay. And the bottom line is that what I've experienced with this machine is that it works, and it works quickly. And I mean, I could go on and on and on for an hour of the stories that I've heard from people in this lot since January 12th. It's unbelievable. It's very, very significant, because these are things that people have been dealing with for years. And so I'm thankful for this machine. And, I can't stop talking about it. I got to tell people about it because it works. So thanks, Steven.
Love it. Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you. One important thing to understand about the machine too is there's something called activation energy. And activation energy just means how much effort it takes to start using something consistently, right? And so there's many things we should be doing for our health, but sometimes the activation energy is too high. Does that make sense? It's like, you should go to the gym. Well, I got to do this. It's a 10-minute drive, whatever, right? So it's one thing to have something that's very useful and can help you, but if the activation energy is low on it, then not only can it help you, you're much more likely to consistently fit it into your life. And that's a huge thing about this. Just point and shoot, I tell people, keep it simple. So awesome. Well, next Thursday we'll be back. Maybe I'm going to be in Hawaii. I should still be able to do it, but we'll be in Hawaii. I'll be in Hawaii next Thursday on vacation for a week. And but join us. Either I'll be hosting or someone else will be, and bring your stories. And a bunch of people will probably have new stories between now and then too. So awesome.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, everybody.